Can you name any of the recipients of the Crusaders? That is, any names that may be known on the planet today? I am Ra. I am desirous of being in non-violation of the free will distortion. To name those involved in the future of your space-time is to infringe. Thus, we withhold this information. We request your contemplation of the fruits of the actions of those entities whom you may observe enjoying the distortion towards power. In this way, you may discern for yourself this information. We shall not infringe with the, shall we say, planetary game. It is not central to the harvest. How do the Crusaders pass on their concepts to the incarnate individuals on Earth? I am Ra. There are two main ways, just as there are two main ways of, shall we say, polarizing towards service to others. There are those mind-body-spirit complexes upon your plane who do exercises and perform disciplines in order to seek contact with sources of information and power leading to the opening of the gate to intelligent infinity. There are others whose vibratory complex is such that this gateway is opened and contact with total service to self, with its primary distortion of manipulation of others, is then afforded with little or no difficulty, no training, and no control. What type of information is passed on from the Crusaders to these people? I am Ra. The Orion group passes on information concerning the law of one with the orientation of service to self. The information can become technical just as some in the Confederation, in attempts to aid this planet in service to others, have provided what you would call technical information. The technology provided by this group is in the form of various means of control or manipulation of others to serve the self. Do you mean then that some scientists receive technical information, shall we say, telepathically, that comes out then as usable gadgetry? I am Ra. That is correct. However, very positively, as you would call this distortion, positively oriented so-called scientists have received information intended to unlock peaceful means of progress which redounded unto the last echoes of potential destruction due to further reception of other scientists of a negative orientation distortion. Is this how we learned of nuclear energy? Was it mixed, both positive and negative orientation? I am Ra. This is correct. The entities responsible for the gathering of the scientists were of a mixed orientation. The scientists were overwhelmingly positive in their orientation. The scientists who followed their work were of mixed orientation, including one extremely negative entity, as you would term it? Is this extremely negative entity still incarnated on Earth? I am Ra. This is correct. Then I'll assume you can't name him, and would ask you where Nicola Tesla got his information? I am Ra. The one known as Nikola received information from Confederation sources desirous of aiding this extremely, shall we say, angelical positive entity in bettering the existence of its fellow mind-body-spirit complexes. It is unfortunate, shall we say, that like many wanderers, the vibratory distortions of third density illusion caused this entity to become extremely distorted in its perceptions of its fellow mind-body-spirit complexes, so that its mission was hindered and, in the result, perverted from its purposes. How was Tesla's work supposed to benefit man on Earth? And what were its purposes? I am Ra. The most desired purpose of the mind-body-spirit complex, Nikola, was the freeing of all planetary entities from darkness. Thus, it attempted to give to the planet the infinite energy of the planetary sphere for the use in lighting and power. By freeing the planetary entities from darkness, precisely what do you mean? I am Ra. We spoke of freeing people from darkness in a literal sense. Would this freeing from darkness be commensurate with the law of one, or does this have any real product? I am Ra. The product of such a freeing would create two experiences. Firstly, the experience of no need to find the necessary emoluments for payment in your money for energy. Secondly, the leisure afforded, thereby exemplifying the possibility and enhancing the probability of the freedom to then search the self for the beginning of seeking the law of one. Few there are working physically from daybreak to darkness, as you name them, upon your plane who can contemplate the law of one in a conscious fashion. What about the Industrial Revolution in general? Was this planned in any way? I am Ra. This will be the final question of this session. That is correct. Wanderers incarnated in several waves, as you may call them, in order to bring into existence the gradual freeing from the demands of the diurnal cycles and lack of freedom of leisure. The law of one, the raw material, by Ra, an humble messenger of the law of one.